Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting. Here to talk today about the appointments and booking, so the live calendar, and basically a little bit about what is the live calendar and how do we utilize it. And then I'll give you some of my tips and tricks on how to not actually, but how to utilize it really well. All right, so let's jump in. So, what is a live calendar link, or what is the calendar aspect of my new admin? And what it is it's a live calendar link that you can jump on to quickly, easily, and conveniently book any appointment with any lead. So we'll grab just a random lead here. And what it'll do is it's going to prompt us to put in some information about what calendar, who's it with, and go from there. So when is the time slot? So what we're able to do is we're able to customize in the settings our time slots. And what this does is we can run meetings at 15-minute intervals. We can run meetings at half an hour intervals. We can run hour-long meetings and then have a half an hour break between meetings to get ready for them. Or as you may know, or like me, meetings always run longer, because there's always room for more questions at the end of any meeting. And that's where you really dig in and dive into overcoming your client's objections, because we don't want to leave a meeting with the client with too many questions, because then they're going to go out there and they're going to do their own research. And in the process of doing research, we'll get bombarded with offers, with information, and that sort of just muddies up their thinking capacity. Because as you would know, the more information you take in, the harder it is to think clearly, because you're trying to think about so many different things. So with the whole sales process and our from marketing to the end sale, we want to have it as simple as possible, but also highly curated so that we can control the emotional state of our client, so that, we're not putting overwhelming pressure on them, because we don't want to be going through, if it's a longer sales process, like buying a property, for example, which is a highly stressful sales process. What we find is that we don't want to put additional stress. So when they're making these decisions, if there's too much information, too much stress, what it can do is it can erode their relationship. It can erode their work-life balance, or maybe they become too stressed and things start going pear-shaped. And we don't want to do that. So we want to take, as the salespeople, we want to take that pressure off them, simplify it, and then give them a path to success. And that's where the gold lies. So what we want to do with our whole booking system is we want to have it as easy and as simple for someone to identify and say, yes, I want to book, and actually to go and self-book. Because any meeting that's self-booked, it has a higher percentage of them showing up than if you were to book it. Alrighty. So we just chuck in the appointment title. So maybe just like appointment with Bob. All right. And then if we go out, what I'll do is I'll show you the back end. So setting up your calendar. And one of the cool things is you can have multiple calendars. So for example, I'll use the property again, but if you are in property and you want to segment between residential and commercial, what you're able to do is you're able to have a residential calendar, a commercial calendar. And when we go back to the calendars, what we're able to do is we're able to jump in here. So we can have as many calendars as we like running. So if you're doing specific marketing campaigns, you can have a separate calendar for that. If you want to segment up your team and you want to have a team look at commercial and a team look at residential, you can have two sales funnels associated to each of those live calendar links, where you can have lead generation into those calendars that's separate, and then those teams individually get the leads, so they're segmented leads. That's a cool thing you can do. Alternatively, if you are in real estate, another thing you can do is you can have a sales funnel done up for each individual agent. to where they have their own live calendar, to where they can generate their own leads, to where they can write blogs, to where they can do whatever they want, like run their own business, build their own brand within your brand. And that's a really exciting thing. And the calendar link just makes it easier because it's synergy, it's technology that's all working under one. So we're not having to go out and do Google Calendar, and we're not having to go out and do, maybe Google Meets or something like that, or Zoom. So we're not having to go to all these different third parties and try and figure out, and manually put it in. What we're also able to do when we jump into these settings, I'll show you how I've set up my calendar and just some of the cool things we're able to do around how we present the information to the client and the experience that they get. So we're able to optimize for either availability. So we can have it to where there's one meeting booking and it goes into multiple calendars if you want. So we can have multiple team members on getting leads from the one calendar if we want. And what we're able to do is, or we're able to optimize for equal distribution. So it's either availability, who's available, or basically equal leads or equal meetings. Alrighty, so we get into a calendar, we just chuck in a name. So what's the name of the meeting? And then or the name of the calendar. And then we just chuck in a little bit of a description. And this is what's going to show up in your calendar invite, is a little bit of a description about, hey, this is what we're going to cover in the meeting, or these are our objectives, and things like that. And then we've got our URL widget. So this is our live calendar link. So what we're able to do with that is we're able to associate that to buttons. We're able to utilize that in our social channels. We're able to utilize it in our email marketing, text marketing. And one of the cool things about My New Admin with their automation is we can automate everything. So we can automate the booking process, so that if the clients go through a certain manual process, we can have it so it automatically shoots out. When they reach a certain stage, it shoots out a booking and says, hey, do you mind booking into an appointment, or book into an appointment? We can have it when they click on marketing as the first text message out, like, hey, would you like to get ahead of the crowd and book in yourself? Tell us the time you're free. We can add it in on our social media to break up our messaging. So, we can do a reach out message and just say, hey, if you're having these problems, we've been seeing it across the board, and we've set up a little meeting to talk to you about. It's a 15-minute chat or whatever it may be. And we're able to put that into our marketing message so that one, we can break up from selling to them. Now we're offering them something for free with no attachments. So that's a really good thing. So it allows us to break up, and maybe we can do one of those offers a week and then 4 other offers. So it allows us to essentially get our marketing a little bit tighter. And it's easy to build out funnels around it. So if the goal is to get them to click on the link and to book in, what is the information, or what is the process they have to go through to be in a place to do that? And sales funnels are really, really valuable for that. And that is because we're able to put in information. So we're able to have sales videos in there. We're able to use highly targeted marketing to drive them there, and highly targeted ads or content. And we're able to educate them throughout the process before they get onto that sales page. And that sales page is the final education, where it really locks in, the value about this offer or this product, and the value about this meeting and what they're going to get. And we're able to reinforce it so that we can increase the click-through rate, increase our effectiveness essentially with the sales funnel picking up more. Because we want to, with a sales funnel, we want to try and target 80%. So we want to create, messaging that relates to the 80% or resonates with the 80%, so that we can get more in. And then as they go through the sales funnel, we sift them out into either different products, or maybe they're out of our process altogether. So that's a really cool thing about it. And the other thing is that we can have the one link, and now we can build out multiple sales funnels so that we can target multiple different angles or multiple different message approaches, so that we can test what do the market respond to, how can we pivot and maneuver, so that we're not just relying on one message that may become outdated, or maybe that message becomes highly competitive and then it becomes unsustainable for the lead cost. And another great thing is, with the lead cost, if we're able to retain as many, like if we're able to retain more than 20%, or maybe 40%, or 60 or 80, to the highest, maybe we could even retain into the 90s, depending on how good your messaging is and how good your sales funnel is. What we're able to do is we're able to dramatically drive down our cost of acquisition, because we're not, paying for 10 leads to get one. Maybe we're paying for 10 leads to get 7. You know what I mean? So it becomes a lot more profitable. And they're some of the values that really having the ability to do very, very agile things. So not many companies can have 30 different sales funnels for 30 different employees. But if you're able to teach your employees how to utilize sales funnels and the psychology behind, colors and things like that, and how to design a website, and how to effectively do copywriting, and how to market and brand, what we're able to do is we're able to dramatically increase the brand awareness for the overall business, and then for the individual agents or representatives. And what that does is that gives the business a lot of personality, because they're able to see we're a business made up of real people. This isn't just a faceless company like McDonald's or something like that. So that really benefits. But also, if you think of it in terms of SEO, brand awareness and things like that, if you've got 30, 40 different messages happening at once, you're able to reach more people than if you were just doing 1 or 2 messages. Because to reach the same volume of people, you would need to be putting in, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. Other cool things are you can utilize your staff, if it's in a sales role, a marketing role, or if they're property agents or something like that, to where they can do like social outreach on social media. So they can do outreach in groups and things like that, share information, share thoughts, sort of embed themselves and build their personal brand in the community. In terms of groups and things like that, just responding and answering questions and just jumping in on conversations. And what that does is that builds the overall brand of them, but also of the business that they work for, because they represent your values. So if they're highly effective at representing, a high amount of professionalism and a high amount of, efficacy and ethics, what they're able to do is subconsciously promote how good your business is. So that's some cool things you can do. Other things are we're able to set our availability. So what we can do is we can choose whatever duration we want, however it may be. We can do interval slots. So this is 90 minutes. So the slot duration's an hour, and then it's 90 minutes before, so an hour and a half before the next meeting can be run. So that gives us time to, if we need to go over, or if we need to explain a concept further, or if we need to address other problems, or if it's just one of those meetings where you're just having a really great conversation and you want to keep it going. Now we've got that ability to do that because we've got an extra 30 minutes. But to the customer, we've said, look, we'll show up for an hour and do this. And then we're giving them an extra 30 minutes of value, which is quite good. Or we can use that 30 minutes to prepare for the next meeting. Now, we can have it at 0, we can have it at 15 minutes, whatever you want, whatever time frame you want in between it. And then we can have our buffer between the meetings. Now, we can have appointments per slot. So if it's something where, you wanted to have two options per time period, you're more than welcome to do that, depending on what your sales cycle is or what your abilities are. This just gives the option for multiple people to book in the same time. So maybe you have a thing where you're doing not so much, maybe you're doing Zoom meetings and it's like, hey, do you want to book in for 12 to 1? And it's like, we've got 6 slots available, and we'll just call you in a period between 12 to 1. That's a good way to do it if you've got a really tight sort of sales process or a tight presentation where it's going to be a 5 to 10 minute conversation, and you're able to book out an hour of calls or presentations in it. And then we can do the amount per day. So we can have 2 calls an hour for 20 a day. So that'd be a 10-hour day if you wanted to do that. We can set a minimum schedule notice. So we can have it an hour before the meeting, or we could have it a day before the meeting. We can set our duration range. We can customize the time periods between when we're accepting our meetings. So we can have them, I've got mine 8 a.m. to 8 p.m, just a nice 12-hour block where I'm available for meetings any period in there. And then what we're able to do is on the weekends, we can drop it back a bit. Pardon me. We can drop it back a little bit. And then we can even have recurring appointments. So if it's a 3 or a 4 meeting process, we can have the initial meeting, and then from that it books into the secondary meeting, and then to the third and the final sales meeting. Perfect. And then what we're able to do is we're able to go through and just confirm our acknowledgement email. Who does that go to? That goes to the assigned user to say, hey, our meeting's been booked. Check it out. We're able to let all of this happen. So we can allow them to reschedule. We can allow them to cancel. We can allow Google Calendar send invitations or updates. We can let the calendar auto confirm the appointment. We can assign a contact to the respective team calendar or team member each time the appointment is booked. What we're able to do is have our additional notes. So, phone, email, need to change the event. We've got reschedule link, cancellation link. If you're utilizing Facebook, we can have Facebook Pixel in there so that you can capture the data between Facebook to your meeting being booked. If you know any coding, you can chuck in custom coding. And then we've just got our thank you message. So just saying thank you for booking in. I look forward to talking to you more in depth about helping you to resolve any of your any of the current challenges you're facing in your business. And just a nice little easy message like that is quite good. Perfect. So easy to use, easy to book people in, easy to create new calendars. You can have, 1 calendar per group. You can have a calendar per campaign if you want. And then team members just come on there, or they're just assigned leads out of that. It's sort of like 100% customizable to what your needs are. And what we're able to do is then we're able to curate the experience from the consumer. So it's not a clunky process of we say a link's going to be sent and then the link's only sent an hour before the meeting and the client doesn't show up. What we want to do is we want to have those touch points of reminding them and reselling them on why it's important. So we could even have the live link, we can put it into our recurring marketing if you want. So your email marketing campaigns as an easy way for clients to drop back into the sales process and book in. What we're able to do with that as well is we're able to retarget. We can even change it. Maybe you wanted to do after sales care or something like that, or maybe you wanted to like you have tech support or something like that. So like you can have a separate calendar for if they have an issue in all of your communications. Hey, if you're having an issue with the product that's been solved, here is how you book in for your, triage session, where we go through and we look at, what's happened, what's causing it, how do we overcome that? So there's many, many different things that you can do. We can set our preferences. So we can set our preferences to be, Zoom, maybe Google Meets, maybe you've got your own sort of, web streaming, platform that you like to use, similar to Zoom or something like that. Or maybe you want to have it in an in-person meeting where you just put in the meeting location is your office or wherever you're going to meet, and sort of it sends that through to them. So it's really cool in the fact that you can do it all digitally, or you can use this to automate your manual process. So now you're not having to manually book people in and remember where they are. They're just booking into your calendar and you're seeing where to go. So for example, you could even use this for people to book in, like if you're doing not door-to-door sales, but if you're doing outbound sales where you're going out looking for customers, say you're selling solar or something like that, and you want to have a way for them to book in an appraisal or an inspection, what you're able to do is you're able to have the meeting location and they put in their address as the meeting location. And then you get the meeting with all their details and their address. So many different things you can do, and you can just utilize it across every medium if you want to really get your business up and running and to make it easy for clients to book in and easy for you to deliver an amazing experience. All right. Well, that's everything from me. So great chatting to you. See ya.